At this point in time, we are going to show more than we tell. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the past rebooted. Welcome to The Past Rebooted, where we delve into the history of Namibia and the trailblazers who shaped its economic landscape. Today, we embark on a journey through time, exploring the lives and contributions of some of the country's most influential entrepreneurs. The stage is set between Shamwaha and Yonka Africana. These leaders were instrumental in cultivating robust trade relations and building essential road networks that set Namibia on a path to prosperity. The exchange of goods, ideas, and culture played a pivotal role in shaping the nation's economic identity. Suddenly, there's a crucial turning point in Namibia's history when Adolf Luderitz, whose land acquisition laid the groundwork for the colony of German Southwest Africa. Yet it was the discovery of a diamond by railroad worker Zakaria Lewala under August Stauch that truly sparked an economic frenzy, putting Namibia's vast mineral wealth on the global map. The next chapter leads us to Adolf Woermann, who left an indelible mark on this country thanks to his extensive trade infrastructure. Not to be outdone, the Voits brothers revolutionized Namibia's agriculture sector by leading the way in the charcoal industry. Fast forward to more recent times, we have Harold Pupkewitz, whose entrepreneurial spirit saw his family business spread its influence across multiple sectors of the economy. Similarly, Carl List and Herman Althaver left a lasting legacy with the founding of the Southwest Breweries, bringing Namibian beer to the world. Koos is regarded as a business leader with a deep commitment to Namibia, a strong entrepreneurial spirit, an unwavering determination to succeed, and a firm stance on ethical behavior. He is also known for his philanthropic endeavors. Finally, we look at the story of Franz Indongo, whose journey of building a business empire in the face of adversity during apartheid is a testament to the resilience and determination of Namibian entrepreneurs. And so we conclude this episode of The Past Rebooted. Through adversity and innovation, these Namibian entrepreneurs have left an enduring legacy. Join us next time as we continue to examine the fascinating narrative of Namibia's past. Until then, take care and keep exploring. He's not bad. So that was just a sample size of what we're looking into with regards to the business past of Namibia. Every place needs a beginning. So that's the beauty of also of especially when you go to different places in Namibia, it's always good to see how visitors see your country. You know what I mean? And that's why I also like this initiative we have with KAZA, where we bring in the four corners together, and announcing it on the 27th seems apt in that way, because there's no separating the wealth of a nation and tourism. I just don't believe you can do it. All right. So speaking of people who know particularly how to talk about the wealth of the nation and to get people to invest in our nation, I'd like to ask you to please help me welcome to the podium the Chief Executive Director of the Namibia Investment Promotion and Development Board, Ms. Nangula Nelulu-Uaandja.
Thank you and good morning. I was waiting for Albe to speak before me. And then I was going to repeat everything he says or what he did not say. So thank you very much and good morning. It's great to be in your company and to have you here with us this morning. Like we have been told, today is more about seeing than talking. So I know that sometimes I will try to get, I get carried away with myself, so I will really try to make a few statements. I believe in the local businesses. And I think it is important. Every economy is based on the foundation of the local business. And that local business, yes, it's a business that is standing, but it's a business that is built on skills and sustainable skills, whether they are entrepreneurial skills, whether they are planning, organizing skills. And maybe there comes one of my recent favorite quote that somebody is attributing to Malcolm X. It says, the problem is not that we are outnumbered. The problem is that we are out-organized. So organization, planning, and coordination is a skill. And it's a skill that, yes, maybe it's inborn, but it's a skill that is learned. And that is a skill that we can also not afford to lose. So there are many, many skills that we need, and there's many skills that we need to keep. So I believe in the local economy. I believe in local businesses. And if you look at Namibia, close to 60% of our employment comes from informal sector. And the informal business is the one that becomes a formal business, is the one that becomes a large business, it's the one that becomes a global business. But we are losing local businesses. I was thinking, my father's favorite shop was Otto Meyer, and I think it's not here anymore. Is it here? No. Maybe he has not heard about it yet, or maybe he has heard about it. But my father is quite a gentleman, and sometimes we irritate him because we are not as gentle people from our dressing as he was. He was very particular, and Ottomar was the shop. So, if he comes to Windhoek, he will go to Ottomar, and I think recently Falls or something like that one, and they knew him very well there, and those businesses are going. We cannot afford not to have those businesses. So the local businesses, we need to build them, we need to sustain them, and we need to grow them, and we need to build them, sustain them, grow them, and have more. But where do we start now? Maybe we start to celebrate the ones that are here. So there are some. There's a book called Good to Great, and in that book, they look at like 100 companies or companies that have survived over 100 years and have gone through many recessions. If there are local businesses here today, they have gone through quite a bit of challenges. And they have gone through COVID-19, and before that, they have gone through a lot. So we need to build them, we need to grow them, and we need to sustain them. But let us start by celebrating the ones that are here today. Because when we lose them, we do not only lose a business, we lose the skills that come with those businesses. And that is skills that is built over the years. And yes, the one business that is committed to the Namibian child is the local business. Yes, I am promoting investment. In promoting investment, I believe in foreign investors and what they can contribute to the economy. But a foreign investor is good, but is even better when he is partnering with a local company. And actually, if you even look at some of the top things that foreign investors look for when they go to the destination is target local acquisition. Are there local companies that they can partner with? And that is what we need to build, companies that the global companies can partner with, and we need to have them in Namibia. So please be part of this journey. And let us work together and see how do we celebrate the businesses that we have today, and how do we as Namibians grow more businesses. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Uaandja. Something that was consistent, as much as you could not predict the future, you kept your eye on it. And you kept adjusting your path to what you thought the future would be best for you, what the future would look like in its prime state for yourself. And with that being said, let's have a look at the future. Welcome to the Future Rebooted Namibia, a series exploring the remarkable transformation of a nation rising from its colonial past to chart its own future. Join us for this exciting journey of discovery and innovation. Namibia is home to burgeoning solar and wind farms harnessed for green hydrogen production. An energy revolution is brewing, and it's not happening in isolation. Across the country, infrastructure is being built to support this transition and fuel growth. Namibia is aiming to become a green hydrogen superpower in the coming decade by positioning itself as a leader in the emerging markets and an international exporter of green hydrogen. Green hydrogen will be an important source of foreign investment and be important for the country's energy security and transition. The government plans to use it extensively to decarbonize its own economy. It is estimated that Namibia has 11 billion barrels of oil reserves which have been discovered offshore. This puts Namibia on par with the neighbors like Angola. Hampered by a lack of exploration efforts until recent years, makes this a real opportunity for Namibia and its economic growth. Thanks to our breathtaking landscapes and cultural riches, Namibia is a beacon for tourism. Yet, it's not just about the natural and cultural allure, it's about planning for the future. And this requires a strategic vision that encompasses cities and towns to the most remote wilderness. To unlock the potential of tourism in the region, we must collaborate as a region in Southern Africa through collective marketing efforts, single visa access, visiting each other's regions as citizens of the South. Developing integrated flight schedules and equal promotional packages are key efforts in attracting foreign tourists. Collaborating with local media to promote local and regional destinations to all of its citizens by using various platforms for promotion. Engaging business, sport and roadshows as tourist opportunities, ensuring that the youth are key drivers for growth in the tourism sector. The development of agriculture as a key partner to the tourist sector will allow the two sectors to grow together. Food security is key for the democratic society to function effectively. Here we see a trajectory of promising growth. It's clear that strategic goals for 2025 and beyond aren't just daydreams, they're tangible targets that Namibia is striving to achieve. We need to start a master plan that takes all development into account and comes with these types of projects: housing, local power infrastructure, potable water supply, road and harbor infrastructure, Namibia will not unlock the growth opportunities that the future offers without significant investment in skills development. Namibia needs significant shift towards vocational training centers and on-the-job training initiatives which focus on these growth opportunities. Today we have witnessed what underlines our journey. It's clear that Namibia's future is looking bright. We've only scratched the surface and there's so much more to explore in the next episode of the Future Rebooted Namibia. So join and follow us on this journey. How are we feeling? Right? This is, I promise you, the easiest job. You know, when everything's been said and your job is still to talk, so that means you don't have to say much. You can just keep things moving along. So sticking with the subject of tourism, please help me welcome the managing editor from the Namibia Media Holdings, Mr. Frank Steffen, as he announces the Tourist of the Year.
Morning, everybody. Right, so before I go to Tourist of the Year, just allow me to just spend 5 seconds on what Nangula referred to earlier. So I've also got the honor of being the editor of the Allgemeine Zeitung, and they are 107 years old tomorrow. Now, I think the important part is, and why I quickly want to spend a few seconds on it, is quite simply that 107 years is just incredibly old. But what it does especially do, and that's what Past Rebooted is, to my mind, all about, is the fact that you suddenly reflect for a moment. You understand how we all change continuously, all of us. I think if we do this Past Rebooted, it's not only about looking back, it's rather what has formed us to be able to take that next step into the future. So I really hope, we're not a big crowd here, but if this little crowd starts making an example of what we can actually achieve, like Nangula said earlier, then I'm quite sure in our small little way we can all make a change. And so I would invite you to really take part in that. And one of the people who's certainly taking part in that is Nyango, sorry. She's sitting over here. She's very young. And I was the fortunate leader of the whole Tourist of the Year initiative for 2022 and 23. And what was very exciting about it is most of these guys could have been my kids. So you know, and it was nice to lead them along and see how they actually built up themselves, because they started out with very simple video ideas of what they thought a Tourist of the Year should be. And they actually did damn well, because they did much better than I would have been able to do. We didn't have a single hand in any of those productions. These are snippets of the invariably between 5 and 6 minutes productions. And that's what really makes it so valuable. So we've got people in this country who are tremendously skilled and talented. And I don't think half of them we actually use as much as we should. And that's really what Nangula's message is all about, I think. And it should be all of our message, because, I mean, this is impressive by any standard. And I think it measures up to international standards in many ways. And we haven't even touched, we didn't even try and teach them anything. It's their own doing. And that's what makes it valuable to me. And so I'm proud to announce now, that's why I invited her specifically, Taimi Nyango. She's sitting here and she's the proud winner. We as NMH actually put a 10,000 Namibia dollar prize onto it, and that's what I would like to hand over to you.
My travel partner and I are headed up north to Katima Mulilo as the beautiful Jackal-berry tented camp awaits us under the Wild Waters Group.
Refreshment for you.
Thank you.
And then face cloth.
Thank you.
So you can have a refreshment.
Oh, I need this. I need this after a long drive.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to the Tourist of the Year. I think you can put that in your CV. I don't know, but I think you can. But in this context, to help us understand the rest of the race, please help me welcome to the podium the CEO of Namibia Media Holdings, Mr. Albe Botha.
So I'm 52 years old this year, and one of the things I've learned in life is momentum. And when you get to 52, you can have quite a lot of momentum behind you. We had very strong views about how important it was to be part of the solution. But all that was in the negative. For us, the positive was that though there was COVID, and though we all have the arguments what went wrong during COVID, it is most probably the wowest thing that's ever happened to early childhood development. If it was not for COVID, we would not have been able to have the emphasis that we have now today on early childhood development. COVID forced everybody to realize that early childhood development is a key part of our future. The voiceless, those of us that don't have the right to say, those of us that don't have the vote to decide who's the next politician, those of us that are flatly ignored, are those children that are not at school yet. We have over 100,000 children that go to school every year. Less than a quarter of them really get some formal education. So when a child hits grade 1, he's in a serious backlog. And so we're very proud to be part of this program. We spent over 40 million Namibian dollars in this project in the last 4 years. We're proud to have sponsors that have helped us. But it's not about what we did in the past. It's what we learned from that. Our understanding of artificial intelligence in this country is second to none. Our utilization of technology in this country is second to none. How we drive a television station with people that are all under 30, except for 2 of us, is second to none. So we do understand technology. We do know its power. We do have 1 million people that reach every year. But we do know as well that the sum total of our country, our economy, is not just technology. Paper still plays a critical role in getting the message across. Over 90% of children under the age of 6 do not have access to technology. And yes, it is about making sure they do get it, but in the meantime, we can't waste another 40 years. So I do invite you to be part of our message around early child development. And I can't stress this enough. Let's make sure that we focus on early childhood development. Now, when you understand that background, you have to ask the question that, why did we focus on the past rebooted so much? And that is that I do believe experience is a key part of going forward. I find too far often that we talk too much and do too little. And part of our celebration today is just to show you exactly when I say do, what do does mean. Because I find that too often we PR, and we are good in PRing, that's our job by the way, that we PR a lot and we forget about the experiences. And that's why we do invite every single business. We're inviting 100 businesses to be part of this journey about the past rebooted, but celebrating the skill sets that you developed over the years, celebrating the reality of where you are right now, but most importantly, where you believe your contribution to the future is, so that we can celebrate and share that to everybody in this country through our platform of reaching 1 million people a day. But more importantly, that we can share that to our investors as well. So working with Nangula and the team, so that I've got that funny saying, don't tell me, show me. And if they can see what your business does, they will come visit you. We struggle getting our message out there. We struggle that people really know how wow this country is, not just in tourism, but in every aspect of being practical. We have some of the best telecommunications understandings in the world, some of the best of electricity in the world, some of the best that we understand from harbors. We are a lot better than we give ourselves credit. Our challenge is sharing that to the world out there, so that we stop closing doors, but opening more doors. What we do have to realize, though, is that the start of a business is also important. And that's why our focus on SMEs in the tourist sector is a critical part. So our theme around tourism is beyond borders. We've realized that a country like Namibia cannot operate in isolation. We need to work together. So we launched the concept about beyond borders this year. Our first focus area next year as the expo will be KAZA. So we do understand the big picture, and we're so proud of these lodges that we just celebrated just now there, because each one of them had some humble beginning at the Tourism Expo. The person that made me realize this was the High Commission of Britain, Charles Moore. Again, we are in controversy around visas right now. And Charles was very clear. He said to me, Albe, as long as there's warm water, I'm happy. And I do think Charles has seen the world. But he wants that unique experience of this country. Do these other lodges give it? Yes, they do. But not as unique as Vastrap does. And Vastrap is one of 1,000 lodges, if not more, in this country. That's going to be our job, to create 3-minute videos of these establishments, share them to the world out there. Hopefully the international world visits, but more importantly, we challenge each business in this country to make that part of their dream. We've also realigned our focus on responsible tourism awards to be more about the conservancies and what their contribution towards being responsible engagements in the country. So you'll see that our focus on localization has been key, but it is done in collaboration and understanding with international tourists. And therefore, you can't just focus on local engagement without understanding the importance of being part of an international network. And it does fit in very well where Nangula is right now. So we just don't have enough money. Let's be fair. We do need international investment, and they're key for our future growth. I've always been a capitalist at heart. But that doesn't help if we do not make sure that that gets down to the levels of local prosperity. And it's not to become a millionaire, it's just to feed a family. And so this is our commitment and contribution towards the Tourism Expo. And we do challenge and invite all of you to please be part of that message. There's a whole sponsorship program around that, and we invite you to be part of that. Part of it is a voucher system that we're running. And how it works is that we will We've done this for the 2 years now. It's be our third year, actually our fourth year, but 1 year we were caught in COVID. We had to skip the Tourism Expo for the first time in 24 years. And the idea is that you would be able to buy a voucher for 500 Namibian dollars and then either be able to have value of $2,000 if you spend it from the 1st of March next year till September next year, or if you use that voucher at the expo itself, that the value would be double, which is 4,000. Tourism is everybody's business. And it's true, it is everybody's business. But it's also an important part of making sure that it reaches everybody's capacity, capabilities of sharing in a bit of prosperity. There's no sector like tourism that can empower people in their communities. And yes, I do come from Sumep and I've been living in Windhoek for over 20 years. But urbanization is not the solution. Urbanization creates more challenges than solutions. So keeping people in the rural areas, in the small towns, bigger towns, depends on how you see Sumep, is key in that strategy. Agriculture has that same capacity. And therefore, we are so proud to be involved with industries that allow people to stay in their communities, to be empowered in their communities, so we can create jobs in that. And we're not against all the other things we saw. There's always a controversy around sector 1 or 2, but job creation is critical for stability in our country. Thank you so much for making time today and sharing this vision with us. And please join us. Please be part of this wonderful journey that we're going on.
Thank you very much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, business powerhouses and visionaries. It is a breakfast, so there is still some food. I don't think food for thought will translate to the gut. So have something to eat while you do ponder upon the food for thought. And we'll see you on this journey as we reboot the past, looking into the future.